Hi and welcome to Scholars Tutorial. In this video we'll be talking about comprehension. Now Oteejay is the person that logged in and she happens to be a teacher, and we are going to be using her portfolio as a SS2 year math teacher to work on the CBT and work on specifically the comprehension type of questions. Now we can click on this link. When we click on this link, we go through the comprehension that is under the CBT drop down menu. Now this interface is presented to us, we have the probability of actually uh, entering a particular comprehension. Now, a comprehension may not really be the conventional comprehension of that is that is uh, that is actually linked to subjects like English language. You can have other comprehension like you have a diagram, and with that diagram you are supposed to answer 2 or 3 questions. Or in mathematics you can have a data representation in form of a pie chart or a bar chart, and you will use that chart to actually answer 2 or 3 questions. So under that condition you can actually use that to as a form of comprehension, and use this particular question type to actually create such a question. Now we have a comprehension like this, and we can actually state what the title of the comprehension is, or may not, we may choose not to use a title for the comprehension. Then here is the body of the comprehension. The body of the comprehension is the full text of the comprehension that is supposed to be read or supposed to be approached before we now start looking at the questions. And we can actually use a picture to actually substitute for that text. Now we can actually use a picture in the situation whereby we're talking about a pie chart. We can actually import a picture of the pie chart, and inside the picture it may contain instruction, or we can actually input the not instruction, some of the annotation here in the text, and also it will work with a picture to actually give the students or every person a clear understanding of what the description is all about. Now let's click on this comprehension to view already existing comprehension on the platform. When we click on that, we'll find out that there is one comprehension that is already existing for mathematics in 2014, 2015 third term. Now this comprehension, this is the text of the comprehension, and this is the title of the comprehension. It was created by Oteejay. Now we can view it more by clicking on this. When we click on that, we'll have access to the comprehension better. Now here we have about 4 objectives already linked to this comprehension, and we can create more objectives by following this link. We'll add more objectives. Now we can add more objectives, and if you look at this we can state the particular text of the objective, or use a picture to actually annote the objective, the question of the objective. Now we can also we will then move forward to actually stating the option A, or use a picture to state option A and state option B, or use a picture, or we can use both of them, both text and picture, for option B. Then remember that all objectives, the first 2 options must be entered, either a picture or the text, or 2 of them at the same time. Now then we can actually use C, D, E, F as the case may be if we want to, and the objective can either be multiple choice, multiple selection, that is multiple answer, or one single answer objective. Now we can explain the answer here, or we can actually import a picture which has an explanation of the answer to the question. Now remember that this one is compulsory, while some of our other ones are not compulsory. Now we have the import Excel. Now we can actually import when we have that this particular object comprehension, we have 4, as it currently has, it has 4 and 4 objectives. So those 4 objectives could have been imported using this particular Excel format. When you download this Excel format to your computer, you fill them up with let's say 4 of those objectives that should be under this particular comprehension. Then you import it into the platform. Then look at the Excel, how the Excel formats look like. Then as how the Excel format look like. You can fill it up with rows denoting the various questions. Now, various objectives. Now we have A, B, C, D, E, the answer and the explanation. Now that is that for that, and we'll use here to choose that file we have filled and import it onto the platform. Now we also note that we also understand that with this we will add another one. If we use this one, we'll add a single objective as one of the objectives under a comprehension, or we can import multiple ones using this import Excel under the platform. Now then, let's say we'll go back to the previous interface, and we'll find out that we have about 4 objectives that has already been added to this particular comprehension. The first objective is this. It tells us that what is really my concern. That is the question, and this is options. Option A is anything could be, and the answer is B, option B. Then we can actually view it more or edit it. If we click on this, we can edit this particular objective. So we can actually change this what is my concern to another thing, and it will now be reflecting that as a this thing. We can decide that A should now be, or the 2 of them should be the answers, and if we click on edit, it's going to be recorded as the choice answer. And we can move back to the previous listing, and we'll find out that we can have access to viewing all other ones. You remember that this one is A, B, and C, while the other one is A, B, C, A, B to B. This one A, B to C. It doesn't really matter. This one is just a true or false question, and the question can have different patterns. It can be multiple answer question, it can be single answer question, as the case may be. And if you look at this is a comprehension, and we can click here to actually view go back to the listing of the comprehensions. Now we can click on this to view updates history of the comprehension. Currently the comprehension has not been updated before. If it were to be updated before, we will see the modifications here and the person that did the modification. We can click on here to edit this comprehension. This is the interface through which we edit the comprehension. We can choose to add picture onto the picture annotation with the text, so that it should have a better meaning depending on our desired results, our desired requirements. We can click on here to deactivate this comprehension, and automatically this comprehension and its objectives will no longer be referenced on this application. Let's step back. Now actually we have gone through some of this, and so another one we need to understand is that this is the only objective that has been specified, that is for mathematics in 2014-2015 third term. When we create another one, it's become another for mathematics for 2015-2014 third term. And this one is for SS2 students. Now we can actually change it to have other ones of other terms, like the ones that we created for 2014-2015 second term. The questions there just show that we can actually interact with multiple questions across different we can interact with multiple questions across different terms, like previous terms and current terms, as the case may be. Now we have that we can view how the questions will look like. Now remember that the question we had this comprehension has 4 objectives attached to it, and if you look at this, we'll have that this is the title, this is the text of the comprehension, and these are the questions. We have that this one is the first objective, this one is second objective, this one is the fourth objective, and using that navigation pill we can actually select multiple ones. And remember that this has been created as a question, meaning that it has been specified that the mark that is supposed to be allotted to this comprehension is 6, and the time to tackle this comprehension question is 9. This time of 9 is going to be added with other questions that has been, let's say, assigned. Like a single CBT may have also, like, let's say 10 questions, and one of them is this comprehension, and this comprehension is required to be completed in 9 minutes. Another one will be in 2 minutes. When we aggregate all of them together, they will come up with an estimated time duration for for the CBT. Nevertheless, you can decide to not to use the estimated time duration and use your own time. Now, all the same, then the other one is that the mark, this mark here is the mark that is supposed to be, that is going to be distributed evenly across 1, 2, 3, 4 questions. When you get all of them correct, you have 6 marks. When you get 3 of them, have 3, or that is, each of them will be something like 1.5 mark. 1.5 mark. Then at the end, you add this mark together with the mark of, let's say we have 10 subjects in that 10 questions under CBT. We have this 6 mark plus all other marks we got in all the rest of the 9 questions, and add it, and it comes over the total amount, and it's going to be computed against the weight of the CBT. Now, this is the we can also use this interface to deactivate this particular question. Then when we deactivate this question will no longer appear under this SS1 mathematics questions. Now we can decide to edit the question. That is editing the topic and the mark and the timing, the time duration, the time it will take to answer that question. Now, with this, we have come to the end of this tutorial. Thank you for checking out this tutorial. We look forward to seeing you next tutorial, and make sure you sign up on our scholars.